Hello everyone, Blaze here. Big news, although I'm sure most of you already know about it. I did wait a little bit to share it with you this time, but yeah, back with another news video. It's always Discotek related on this channel, it feels, when it comes to news. But yeah, Lupin the Third, the Red Jacket series, Series 2, is coming out from Discotek Media. At last, they've licensed it. It's been one of those ones that everyone and their everyone and their dog knows that Discotek were going to put out Lupin the Third Series 2, the Red Jacket series, at some point. It was just a question of when. When has finally been answered. We know it's coming out in 2016, or at least the first box set's coming out in 2016. It will be put out in 4 box sets that will cover the entire 155 episode run of the series. Discotek, in their brilliant way, as always, will be putting out every single English dub that's available, which, so far as we know, is the 79 episodes that Genion did, and the 2 episodes that Streamline did, which are the Miyazaki episodes 145 and 155, which were released under, like, I think it was like on video back in the day as like Lupin the Third's Greatest Capers or something. Those are the episodes that kind of are like they got like loads of Laputa Castle in the Sky stuff in it. Before Laputa came out, it was like lots of ideas that Miyazaki ended up using in the Laputa film with the like the robots and stuff, like the weathered, rusted down robots and things like that. So anyway, yeah, we're going to be getting the Red Jacket series at last, which is great news. And as we can see, it's coming out in 4 box sets. First one starting in 2016. I think the first box set's going to probably hit around March to May. Around that time, I think we'll get it relatively quickly. I'd be surprised if we have to wait too long for the first part, given, there's already a perfectly good subtitle script out there. There's already the English dub. Discotek aren't dubbing anything, at least, again, not to our knowledge. So yeah, I think we shouldn't have to wait too long for the first box set, and that will give, because the first 2 box sets, you would imagine, given that 79 episodes already have a dub, a pretty decent subtitle script. In fact, a subtitle script that Discotek clearly have faith in, because they say right here, episodes 80 to 155 will have improved subtitles, which also you can take to read that we are quite happy with the subtitle scripts for episodes 1 to 79, which Genion put out back in the day. Which, that is the key question here. Discotek say we will include any English dubs that already exist, and also the Japanese language within the subtitles, obviously. The interesting thing there is all include any English dubs. Now, Richard Epcar, who is the English voice in the Genion version of the Red Jacket series of Lupin, he did Jigen in English, and he was asked, albeit a long time ago now, well, it feels like a long time ago, back in 5th of January 2014, he got this question. Not sure if you know about this, but is there any chance of the series being re-released? Many episodes are undubbed. Genion only ever released episodes 1 to 79 dubbed, and he says they're not dubbed because Genion went under right when we were going to dub those, which is another key little thing there. That does suggest actually that Lupin Part 2 was doing relatively well. I mean, he might just be being kind with his words or whatever to fans, but at the same time, it does suggest that, hey, maybe Genion were going to do more, but then ended up pulling out. But they were open to doing more episodes, which suggests that Lupin was doing well on home video and on Cartoon Network. Anyway, here we get, didn't you say that there were around another 40 episodes that were dubbed but went unreleased? And he says, yep. Richard Epcar, yep, there's a bunch of dubbed episodes that never saw the light of day. Do you know what happened to them? No idea. So, yeah, 40 episodes would take the English dub count in this 155 episode series all the way up to 120. Now, obviously, Richard Epcar doesn't mention that it's 40 episodes. It's a fan that mentions it's 40 episodes. We don't actually know how many, but if it's anywhere near that, like, that is a huge chunk. Like, 40 episodes is an entire another third English dubbed episodes that have never seen the light of day. The only thing that's curious about that is you would imagine that those rights to the English dubs reverted back to TMS Entertainment. TMS Entertainment have been putting shows up on Hulu, including the Red Jacket Lupin series, including the Genion dubbed episodes, but so far As of right now, the only dubbed episodes on Hulu are the original 79. There are no more. So, yeah, like, are there any more episodes? Yeah, Richard Epcar seems to think that he dubbed more episodes, and he would know. Like, he was Jigen, he would have been dubbing those episodes. So, yeah, that's a very interesting little snippet. We won't know until Discotek tell us, and you have to imagine that Discotek know. And I don't know. I don't know if there are going to be more episodes. There might be one or two, maybe. I don't know. Like, that might be more feasible, but a huge amount that have never been released, maybe not. Honestly, I'd be surprised if there are any. The only reason I say that is because I feel like if there were, Discotek, why would Discotek hide that information from us unless they're struggling to get the rights to those? But why would they be struggling to get the rights to those if they've already got the rights to the original 79? I don't know, like, I just feel like the fact they even go out their way to say episodes 80 to 155 will have improved subtitles, and then they mention they've got the dub for the streamline episodes, and it's just like, surely if they had a treasure trove of like extra dubbed episodes, they would tell people, like, hey, not only are we putting out this series, but we're going to be putting it out with a bunch of episodes that you guys have never seen before in English. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's entirely possible that while those episodes were dubbed, maybe they were never finished. Like, maybe Richard Epcar, for example, maybe did a bunch more stuff for Jigen, but maybe the other voice actors and actresses that worked on the show didn't, and those episodes haven't been, edited together or anything like that, and maybe Discotek aren't sure if they're going to be able to do that, and maybe that's why they're not telling us yet. I don't know, like, it's all... I don't know. It doesn't seem likely to me, but I would love that to be the case if there's more episodes. So, yeah, it's going to be coming out on 4 box sets. I think it's going to mirror the Fist and the North Star release, basically, which also came out on 4 sets and also ran for about the same amount of episodes across those 4 sets. So, yeah, I'd imagine that's probably going to be the case there. One of the key things about this license announcement is that now, surely, and this is kind of like what happened after the original series, everyone was like, they put out Green Jacket, surely they're going to put out Red Jacket, especially since Discotek are putting out so much Lupin. Now, my mind immediately went to, after I got over the excitement of this being announced, it was like, well, now surely they're going to put out Pink Jacket, right? Pink Jacket is the 1980s series. I think it runs for about 50 episodes or something. Yeah, I feel like now that's going to be the one that everyone's going to be clamoring for once the Lupin release is finished, which I think all of it will probably be out by early to mid 2017. I think we'll have all the Red Jacket on home video. So yeah, I feel like Pink Jacket's surely next, right? I think the biggest clue we'll get for that is if at some point in the next 12 months Discotek put out The Legend of Gold Babylon, is it called, or something? The Pink Jacket movie, which is the only other Pink Jacket property to do with Lupin. I feel like they'd put that out first, and then maybe we'll get the TV series at some point. And finally, or maybe not finally, there's a couple of things actually. We'll keep it Lupin focus for we'll just talk about Lupin, right? Whatever. For DVD sets. Now, there are Blu-rays out in Japan for Lupin the Third Series 2, Red Jacket, but they are upscales, unlike the Season 1 Green Jacket, the Season 2 one, because it runs 155 episodes, like, it only got a upscale. So, yeah, the fact we're getting this only on DVD is kind of acceptable, in my opinion. I don't really particularly like upscale Blu-rays too much. Well, I don't like upscale Blu-rays of cell shows, like traditional cell animated shows. When it comes to digital, some of the early digital shows, they can only be upscales on Blu-ray. Like, they're not in a higher resolution. So that I'm more willing to accept. But in terms of like the stuff done on traditional cell and film prints and stuff, like I'm not so willing to buy those in upscales ever, really. But we could get a standard definition Blu-ray at some point, which would cram probably. You could probably do like 3 Blu-rays for Lupin, maybe like just 3 single Blu-ray discs for the entire 155 episodes. You could probably manage, although English and Japanese maybe not. I don't know, but you could probably do very few Blu-rays and have a complete box set of the entire run of the series on standard definition Blu-ray. which obviously Discotek are doing now with Samurai Pizza Cats, and I expect them to probably expand on that idea in the future. I've actually come around completely on that idea. Like, I'm totally up for it. Like, if Viz Media ever put out the entire series of Naruto like they have in Germany on standard definition Blu-ray, I would probably pick it up because it would save so much freaking space. So yeah, I've completely come around on that idea. It makes perfect sense to me now. Anyway, the final thing I want to talk about is, obviously this is a 155 episode series. It's very long. Does this mean that this is going to be the long series that Discotek are working on for the foreseeable future? And does that kill any chance of getting another longer series licensed, and maybe even have its release begin in 2016? I'm kind of like 50-50 on that, because so much of this show is kind of already done. I mean, yeah, they have to make the DVDs or whatever, but they don't have to subtitle half of the show. They only have to improve the subtitles as well. Like, they already have a script. They don't have to translate and make their own script. They just have to go through and improve it, which, yeah, that'll take a while. And obviously you still have to make the DVDs and such and get all the subtitles correct and perfect. But still, there's a lot of things that have already been done. Like, a good probably 30% of what would go into doing this show in its entirety has already been done, like, for Discotek beforehand. So I feel like that might lend itself for us maybe getting another longer show in 2016 licensed, because I don't want to go into 2016 without the smallest glimmer of hope that Discotek might come out and say, hey, we got Galaxy Express 3.9, everybody, we're going to put it out on DVD, aren't you happy? I was like, yes, I'm very happy, Discotek. I don't want that dream to die, but yeah, seeing a huge show like this get licensed in terms of episode count does mean that we're probably less likely to get another longer show like Galaxy Express come out. Anyway, so yeah, that's everything really to talk about. Possible extra English episodes is exciting, but overall, even if that doesn't come to fruition, hey, we're still getting Red Jacket, and isn't that great? I think that's great, because as you know, people have been watching my channel, I fell in love with Lupin this year, pretty much. Like, I liked Lupin before from the little bits I'd seen of it, but this year I went head first into the Lupin franchise, and I've thoroughly enjoyed myself with it. And yeah, I actually have seen 32 episodes of the Red Jacket series and have liked what I've seen of it so far. It took a while to get used to the Genian cast, but because I really like the Funimation cast a lot. But yeah, I got used to the Genian cast, began to like them too, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing more of it. And I will now wait for the DVDs before jumping back in. So yeah, I'm Blaze. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.